Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Katie and today I'm gonna do a Q&A to celebrate 1,000 of you guys joining me here on YouTube. I asked you guys some questions on Instagram and I'm gonna group this into sections. I'm gonna group this into art, business, manga, and personal. Okay, the first question is, what apps do you use to make these drawings? I use, for manga, for both of my silent mangas, I used Procreate on the iPad. I love Procreate so much because of how intuitive it is. It literally feels like you're drawing on paper, but like with more options. That's an exaggeration, obviously, but I use Procreate, but for the bigger mangas, I use Clip Studio Paint X. It has a lot of special layers, especially made for manga, such as like the text boxes and like some like white borders, which is really good. Next question. Do you speak Japanese? If not, would you say it's been an hindrance as an international manga? It's been cut off, but I assume it says international manga creator. I am learning Japanese. I can speak like casually to friends, but like I wouldn't say I'm on a literary level to write manga with Japanese. I'm trying to learn by reading Japanese manga. Like I bought a bunch of Japanese manga, but to answer the question, yes, it would be a hindrance because if you want to get into the commercial Japanese manga publishers, everyone there speaks Japanese and they can't communicate with you if you can't speak Japanese. And also, even if you get a translator, like there's so much meaning that'll be lost if you have someone else translating for you. Like the more you understand the culture and the language, I think the better you get, as like the more advantages you have in Japan in the industry. Yeah, but if you're going indie, I say it's totally fine. You don't just do it in your own language. Yeah. Nextly, is it hard to make a manga slash book? If you have a reason behind why you want to do it, then you can do it. You can do anything. Why do you started to draw manga? I started to draw manga so I can make a Satosugu Dojin. I want to write a book. I need help, please. Love you. Thank you. I love you too. Oh, you got this. Keep writing. Just write. Practice writing every day. You got this. But maybe I can help you guys write a one-shot. Do you guys want a longer video or more detailed, like how to develop a story for your one-shot? Let me know if you want that. Do you remember the first time you made a comic? If so, what was it about and can we see? I saw your comment, I saw your question. Thank you so much for asking, and I included it in my other video on my manga journey. So thank you so much for asking. I showed the whole thing in my other video, how I became, I forgot what I titled that video, but I was basically talking about how my whole manga journey from the start to now. Have you made any yaoi or yuri series? If you did, sorry I didn't know. I haven't! Yeah, but I do love the two best friends in a room, but kind of vibes, but yeah. How to make a comic manga as a beginner? Start by one page at a time. Do lots of practices and copy your favorite manga artists. How can I become an amazing manga artist like you? Oh my gosh, wait, you're too sweet. Yeah, these kinds of questions made me want to make that video. So really believe in yourself and practice and have a vision of where you want to be as a manga artist. Like what kind of manga artist do you want to be, and really define it and do things that you haven't done before. Like try to write names. It like might seem like literally so daunting because it's a sheet of blank paper and you're meant to write a story on it, but like just like do it. What's been the most enjoyable aspect of working on your webtoon and most difficult? The most enjoyable aspect would be writing the story and the name, because you can literally take the story wherever you want to take it. And that's something that I kind of took for granted before working with other people, or before like writing my own books, because webtoon feels more casual for me, especially with the vertical format. But yeah, I think the most enjoyable aspect is seeing how your characters play out and like just like enjoying the journey, sitting in with them. And the most difficult is deadlines, because I feel like it's more chill. I don't set strict deadlines on my webtoon. This is very, very casual for me. And I think the last time I checked, my ratings was like at 6 or something, and I was like, I'm using webtoon as a place to put out my story, so it doesn't affect it too much, I think. I think the most difficult part is taking yourself and your own deadlines seriously. Which is the software you use to compile all the drawings into comic panels? Clip, Studio Paint, X. How much did it roughly cost to print your first manga? It cost 200 AUD, which is 150 USD-ish for 50 copies. And then the next question, I am working on a webtoon. How many chapters should I share monthly? I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on like tips on writing webtoon. You share as often as you can while keeping consistent uploads and not burning out. How to create manga for competition? I'm assuming you mean for Japanese competitions. For Japanese competitions, I think you need to be more strategical with your stories. It's almost like making reels. It's like you need to keep the readers hooked vibes. And I think as a beginner, maybe if you follow the Kisho Tenketsu structure, it's like, and I think as an industry, manga is a form of entertainment mostly, so try to make it entertaining and make people feel good vibes. How do you think of a good story for your mangas? You brainstorm and consume a lot of media. What if I want to start my mangas traditionally? I'm not really good in digital art. That's totally fine. People did it traditionally completely until just a decade ago. It only started getting popular within this decade, I think. Maybe you can get either the nib pens and ink and the manuscript paper. Oh yeah, you can get manuscript paper with the grid lines and stuff. But you don't really need that. You can just literally use your sketchbook and fine liners. You just focus on naming and the art. You can use anything. That's totally chill. And then you just scan the pages. The same. It's beautiful. And the best thing is blue pencil as an undersketch and white out can be edited out afterwards. So don't worry about making any mistakes. I know that you're writing a webtoon, but do you have any plans for a long manga? Oh, no, I don't have plans for a long manga right now. Yeah, I would love to write a manga series sometime in the future, maybe in the next stage of my career. Right now, I'm at the beginning stage of a manga career where I'm writing a lot of one-shots. How to get published in Japan without experience? Do competitions. They'll notice you. Not jokes. Do lots of competitions. There's Days Neo. If you just search up Japanese international manga competitions, a bunch comes up. You can just enter those. There's a website called Days Neo where you can publish your manga on there and editors can find you. Yeah, just get yourself out there in as many places as you can, like social media or through manga competitions. I'm learning to draw manga because of you. What? That's so sweet. What? Can you share any broke student study ref resources, please? Yes, I keep telling you guys this. This book that Taco, this Korean artist, published, he's on social media and everything in this book is a post on his Twitter. So this would be one post, and this is just a collated book that I bought when I was in Korea, but everything's totally free online. Yeah, this is it just breaks down anatomy in terms of illustration. This kind of vibes. Yeah, I recommend this so much. If you want to draw manga, this is like a animification Bible. Phew, that's all your questions about manga. And next I'm moving on to art as a broad topic. What was your artistic learning curve like? It was like, it's like this, where I learn something and then I feel like I'm not improving, and then I learn something again and then I feel like I'm not improving. What about you? Let me know in the comments. How has your art style evolved throughout your career as an artist? Oh, through my career, I've only done art as a career for the last like 1 year or 2 years. But you can basically see my art style through my Instagram. That's like around when I first started drawing again. Before that, I was drawing in high school. Before that, I was drawing in high school. But I stopped drawing halfway through high school and started drawing in uni again. And yeah, here is the development of my art throughout the years. Hey, what got you into art and what kept you into art? Oh my gosh, fan art. I love characters. I love like being involved in the community of fans of series that I like. I think like ever since I was really little, I would always draw fan art because it makes me feel like I'm involved in a series that I really like. And now what keeps me into art is like I have a grand vision with the art in it and I really want to pull through. Any advice on drawing? By the way, congratulations for 1K subs. Thank you so much! Yay! Advice on drawing is use drawing as a way to observe the world around you, and I think that's a way to take less pressure off of your skill in drawing. So don't worry about how it looks, but use it as a way to interact with the world. Who are your art inspirations? I think these guys, my prince, for manga artists. Oh my gosh, basically all the manga books I own, I really look up to them. Yazawa Ai, Koteri, Atsumiku Nakamura, Togashi, Akimi Yoshida, and Moyoko Ano. I love those mangas. I think these artists really inspire me in the manga realm. How do you sketch bodies? I do a lot of practice by like sketching people on the street. Like when I'm out and about, I would like draw, like I do lots of figure drawing. I think that's how I sketch the bodies. And then understanding like how the spine sits and like the bone structure really helps with like how the body will sit and like how much meat is on the body depending on each person. You can like kind of like mold it on the basic structures of the bones and the muscles. So maybe like learning some anatomy and also the curvature, like the line of action, and like building the muscles and then incorporating the lines. Wait, so like understand the bone structure and how the muscles and the meat builds onto those bones, and then learn how to curve them in a way that it looks dynamic. Who do you think books should be dedicated to? What? Like your mom? Wait, no, I mean like depends on the story, hey. I think there should be no should in this question, but my books are usually dedicated to the universe. What is your favorite part of drawing? I like drawing hair when it covers the eyes. Like I love drawing like strands when they go over the face. I think it's really pretty. How do you deal with embarrassment when you want to show art to others? Throw your phone across the room and don't look at it. Turn your Wi-Fi off. How do you find your art style? Having a hard time finding mine. You don't need to find your art style will find you. Wait, yeah, don't worry about it. Just keep copying what you like and just experiment with a lot of different styles so you know what you like and you don't like. And that's how you'll find out what you like. And distilling everything down, you'll gradually refine, and your art style will change as you grow. Like your art style is literally means the way you draw. So it depends on what you like at the moment, your inspirations. So just keep drawing what you keep learning and keep developing your skills and keep finding inspiration. Oh, favorite piece you've created and or seen? That's such a big question. Wait, can't answer one piece of art? What are you talking about? I really like Gustav Klimt's work. I really like Night of the Flowers, that painting. I really like Monet's one of like that church in Rouen. I also can't believe I've never listed it out before. I'll come back to you on that. How often do you draw? I draw every day. I think on the days that I don't do work drawing, I draw fan art or I draw life drawing. Do you ever feel negative about your art? If you do, how do you deal with it? Also, I really admire you. Oh, thank you so much. I feel negative about my art all the time. Every once in a while, I mean, at least once a month, if you know what I mean. I usually feel negative about my art when a voice inside my head says your art is bad. And I deal with it by thinking that a voice in my head is saying that my art is bad. Like I reframe it by thinking that the voice is saying my art looks bad, but it doesn't mean that my art is bad. It just means the voice thinks it's bad, and that's probably because the voice has acquired a higher taste in art, which means that it can be more critical. It has the ability to be more critical about my art. Or like I have the ability to be more critical over my art. So that's why it looks bad. So it doesn't really say anything about the art in itself. It's just saying that my taste got better. So I just keep drawing, I keep practicing, and I use that judgment to know where to work on. I'm sharing for you too. You got this. I have a whole video about art block, and I think I explain what I think about art block in that video, so check it out. Who had a large influence in your career as an artist? So many people I am so thankful for. I think, oh my god, like so many people, from my family to people I've met throughout the last 2 years, through like everyone who's supported me and all of you guys who've supported me. You guys are literally making this possible for me to have as a career. I'm so thankful of that. That's literally amazing. Like I take inspiration from the world and I really want to give back to everyone. Next, we're moving on to the business questions. Okay, what do you use for packaging your prints and items? I use recycled material and Daiso wrappers. Basically everything I use I find around my house. I've collected a bunch of like wrapping paper throughout my high school years, and I use this kind of like brown craft paper and I like fold it over and I use my stickers to like stick it down. But I don't do a lot of online packing anymore, so that's how I can make that sustainable. What are some of the hardest and realistic parts of being an illustrator? I guess you're doing work for other people. You're being hired by other people, so there's a lot of things you can't control. I think it's the hardest part with being an illustrator. What was the most challenging part of your work? I think it is setting deadlines for myself, because I literally have to set all of my projects, all of my goals and all of my deadlines myself. And if I don't set deadlines, I think my goals just keep getting further and further away. So setting an arbitrary deadline is the most challenging part, because it's like, where do I set it? Like, how long do I give myself? And I think for that, it's just trial and error. But I'm still working through that actively right now. And another challenging part was believing in yourself, because you can do nothing and you can do everything in this career. So I'm like a self-employed artist, content creator. So I'm basically doing everything myself, every part of this job by myself. So it's like from tomorrow I could wake up and do nothing and then I'd just turn unemployed. So that's like for the starting era of my career, everything's on me before I decide to hire people. So believing in myself was the hardest part that I've gotten over. I really feel like I'm in this career now. So thankfully that's over. So thankfully that was okay. How do you get a visa to Japan? Was it difficult? I'm from Australia, so when I go to Japan, I actually go on a tourist visa because I'm not working in Japan. I'm just going to visit and tourism. So we actually have Australians are lucky enough to have a visa-free 90-day trip in Japan. But my partner who gets a visa in Japan, it's a long process, but should be okay. How did you manage to pull through all these years to get where you are now? No. I personally think the best way is to have a clear vision of who you want to be. What are you gonna do every day once you become that person? You have this dream vision of yourself. So you think about like what that person does all day, what do they do for work, what do they do before they go to bed, what do they do first thing in the morning, what do they eat, and you want to start to be that person right now, like mindset wise. And you're gonna believe that you're gonna get there. No, you're gonna believe that that kind of life is waiting for you, and you're gonna start doing things that will help you get there, like one step at a time, and to live every day fully. All right, and that's all the business questions. We're moving on to personal questions. What is your age? I am 24 and I'm turning 25 this year. I'm a 2000 baby. Hi, I'm new. Please give me an OC law in a summary. Welcome to Gentle Coda. I think my main OC right now, who's the protagonist of my webtoon, is called Odette. She's a generational assassin. They moved from China to like a European country. Yeah, so her family is like super Chinese and they were in like Chinese mafia, but they left the Chinese mafia for a better life in the West. And after she settles in Europe, so the story mainly happens in Odette's youth, but later on... Wait, really? I get to answer OC law summary? Okay, my main OC right now is Odette. She's like the blackhead girl that's in my recent Draw This in Your Style challenge. She's my protagonist for my webtoon, and basically she's a generational assassin from China, and she moved to the West, somewhere in southern France, I think. Their family is a migrant family from China, trying to continue their family business in the West. And it's basically about like migrant families and generational trauma. Yeah, and this is basically how she grows up. And she's been raised as an assassin, but she loves music, and she makes friends with two people on an unexpected night. One of them is a current junior doctor who wants to be a fashion designer, and she's called Esme, and she's like gonna be really fashionable later. I just really wanted to draw. And this other guy is called Jean. He's the owner of the bar that the three of them met at, and that night they really bond and they become friends. So it's like three really different people becoming friends, and I'm just gonna play with. So those are my three main OCs right now. I love all of them dearly. Thank you for asking. Your question makes me happy. Next, when was the first time that you knew you wanted to be an artist? Oh my gosh. I think I always thought it was too good to be true to be an artist. I wanted to be a doctor during high school. I wanted to be a cartoonist in primary school, because I really liked Danny Phantom. I wanted to make cartoons. I always thought it was like out of my reach, but once I kind of had the realization that I was able to financially support myself. This is such a big question. I don't know how to answer this. The moment I decided that I was going to be an artist was last year, around when I wrote The Girl I Left Behind with Center of Stories and PCAF. That was when I got the Comic Creator Fellowship, and I don't know, I just took that as a cosmic sign. Back then I kept talking about doing content. I was like, oh my god, I want to make more content. I want to be a YouTuber artist. Like, I want to make more content. I want to be a YouTuber artist. I want to like work with brands, and like I want to be a freelance artist and author. Yes, so to answer the question, maybe around last year or for as long as I've remembered. If given the opportunity, will you be joining Koamex's Artist Village in Japan? So whenever someone wins the Grand Prix or Grand Prix runner-up like I did, of the Silent Manga Challenge, Silent Manga of the Silent Manga audition, they would ask you if you are interested in coming, and if so, when are you able to come? And back then, when I won last year, like a whole year ago, I would have loved to join. I said yes because I would have loved to join. Currently, where I am in my career right now, the thing I want to focus on more is building my own brand and starting my own business. Oh my gosh, Alyssa, what is your biggest dream? I'd love to write more stories and connect with more people. And yeah, I'd love to make my own manga series, like either publish my own books or work with publishers. I'm not sure yet, but the main thing is I'd love to hire and work with a team and like, I don't know, build something like a creative cooperative group. I'm not sure yet about what, but like I want to work with some brands. I would love to work with like fashion brands. I think that'll be really, really cool. And I want to keep vlogging. Yeah, like just capture lots of behind the scenes of the creative projects we get up to. I want to show that being an artist doesn't mean that you'll be starving at all. In fact, I want to show people that you can live like a very comfortable life. You can work a very comfortable life that's fulfilling to you, and that it's possible. And the next question is how do you navigate your way in Japan and the best countryside places you've been to there? How do I know that Japan? The public transport is just so good. I think once you land in Tokyo or Osaka, you can pretty much take super cheap flights anywhere. The flights are like cheaper than the bullet trains by a lot. So you could take flights, or you can take a bullet train, or you can take a normal train to like anywhere. It's like almost everywhere is quite accessible, and if you go into the more rural areas, you might need to learn more Japanese, because I almost got lost once in the middle of the night. I arrived at Shirahama and I saw on Google Maps, I got on the bus, I saw on Google Maps, it was literally going on the opposite direction, and it was like dark outside, and I was like, no. And he did not speak English at all, so I would have been screwed, because I had to communicate to him that I'll need to get off, and then I kind of asked him like which station this is going to. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. But the best places I've been to, I go to Kyushu a lot. My partner's there. I also really love Kyushu. It's so relaxing and the nature's just so nice. So I fly from Tokyo to Kumamoto station, and then from Kumamoto you can like either hire a car, or actually the PT is like, it doesn't come very often, so maybe it's better to get a car. We usually drive together there, and it's like really chill. People are so chill there. I love Kyushu. In Takamori, there's like this strawberry buffet where you can go in, and it's like dead ass, like no time limit. You go in for $20 Australian dollars, like 15 USD, and you can eat as many strawberries as you like. I'll put some photos here, but the strawberry field, it was so big. Everything was in greenhouses and everything was elevated. Wait, I'm talking too much about strawberries. Okay, I also liked this town in Wakayama, which is a suburb slightly below Osaka, and this little fishing town called Kada was really cute. I found out when I was there that this anime called Summertime Rendering was made there. So in the fishing town, I lived with an old couple, and it was the sweetest thing ever. It felt like you were at your grandparents' house. But they told me about this island. It was like a battleship island, I think. No, not battleship island, but like there was a fort in the island. So you basically take a ferry to the island, and there's like a few trips in and a few trips out every day. And the island was just super nice as well. It's like a hike. You just go in the island and you basically hike around the island for like the whole day, and it's just so beautiful because it's like island vibes with mountains, and the beaches were so nice. It's not the type of beach that you would swim in, but like the views were very, very nice. And speaking of islands, Naoshima, we like went around to 3 art galleries, but I think there's like so many art galleries, and the architect Ando that designed kind of the whole island, like the galleries of the whole island, it was super cool. We saw Hiroshi Sugimoto's exhibition, which is, I think it's a permanent exhibition and a accommodation in the island. That one was so nice. We stayed at the town Uno, like a ferry away from the island. I think we just had a day trip there, but we stayed there for 2 nights. I would recommend staying for 1 more night. You want to go to more galleries. I also loved Hokkaido. Hokkaido has the best food, I swear. It's okay, soup curry, traditional Ainu deer soup curry. Oh my god, I just love soup curry so much. I fell in love with soup curry when I went to Hokkaido last year. I went all around Hokkaido. I loved Noboribetsu, just under Sapporo. Oh my god, yeah, you gotta go skiing in Hokkaido. Skiing in Hokkaido is really good. But even if you visit in summer, there's like flower fields, and also on the right side of the island of Hokkaido, there's like, I forgot the name. There's like a national park there, and it's like a mountain and a lake. And in the morning, if you go at sunrise, the clouds would literally fall on the lake, and it's so pretty. I went there on a road trip with my friend, and we booked like a car for like 5 days and drove around there. It was super nice. I think Kyoto countryside is really nice as well, like especially the northern sea line, like a town called Ine. It's kind of touristy. It's pretty touristy, but it's cute. But when I'm in Kyushu, we went to Beppu, we go to Fukuoka, we went to Beppu, we went to Kagoshima, and we actually took a ferry from Kagoshima to Yakushima. I totally recommend Yakushima though. It's like another world. It's literally entering like a rainforest. Like you're literally in another world when you're there. That's actually really, really cool. And Kagoshima, I keep seeing matcha being harvested in Kagoshima, but I haven't visited the matcha fields yet. I want to go sometime. But yeah, Beppu was really nice. It's like a hot spring town, and the whole town has chimneys from the ground, and there's like thick smoke coming out of it. And the smoke is from like the hot air. Oh, actually, I don't know. The smoke's just from like the hot springs, like it's all natural. But yeah, it smells like sulfur kind of energy. Hakone is also really nice. It's like kind of popular next to Tokyo. So yeah, Aso, Naoshima, Kada, Hokkaido, and Takachiho is like a gorge near Takamori where we live. And Takachiho has like, it's really popular. I heard Oshinoko is partnering with them, so they have like events, and it's recently got more popular. But when we went, I don't know, there was like creamier ice cream. Aside from that, I just navigate on Google Maps, but you can download Navitime on App Store, and that one gives you live train information. So I use PT a lot. You get a pass mode. Yeah. I don't really use Japan Rail Pass because there's lots of like train companies, and Sometimes I don't take JR. I think those are the favorite places that I've been in Japan. Next question is, how do you keep yourself motivated to keep doing what you do? I keep myself motivated by, I think, by having a grand vision of what I want my life to be. And so I'm really clear with what I need to do in order for that to happen. I set up like systems of what I need to do every week, and I make sure that I like the sound of what I'm doing every week, and I try to align that with what I will be doing every week in my vision. So it's kind of motivating in itself. I feel like my energy comes and goes with the motivation, but like when I remember that I'm doing this for a greater cause, or I'm doing this for my future self, I think I feel more energy. Yeah, recently I was reading this book that is called The Untethered Soul. Yeah, but the book was literally saying that motivational energy is unlimited. So I'm trying to like contextualize that in my life. And it's like, if you believe that motivational energy is limited, then you'll like feel tired more often because you'll be like, oh, I've used up all my energy. But if you have the belief that motivational energy is unlimited, it feels like you're able to tap into it more. So that's just something I'm trying. I'm trying to shift my mindset into thinking that energy is unlimited. And the last question is, what's a story that really interests you? Lately I was watching an anime called Chi. It's called Orb on the Movements of the Earth. It's super insane. I think this is like my favorite new gen anime or manga. I love it a lot. I think it was really popular 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago-ish. I really like it. I never picked it up because I saw the manga art and I wasn't into the manga art, so I didn't read it. But when the anime came out, I hopped onto it like episode 1. Like, first I fell in love with the character. Because he was so like interesting, because he was so like, his character was so like self-driven, like Raphael. He's one of my favorite characters now. But like, I love how selfish he is, like self-interested kind of vibes. Like how manipulative he is. I sound like a psychopath now, but if you watch it, you know what I mean. Like, he's really charming in that way. And I don't know, episode 4, I was just so shocked. I was like, what? How? I really love the plot already, and I love the characters, I love the plot. I love the thoughts that it made me think as I was watching it. I was thinking a lot while watching it, and it was really cute. And I was really following the story with the character, right? Okay, if you want to watch it, you can stop listening to me here. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it and tell you why I really love the story from now on. So you have 5 seconds to click out and go watch Orb, because it's really good. You should totally watch or read it. I love it. The opening is so good. Alright, if you're gonna go watch it, I will say bye to you right here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Love you. Bye. For the spoiler people, so after episode 4, our beloved main character dies, and I'm like, what? I was like, yo, what? And then like the next episode, just like new characters pop up, and I'm like, I don't care about you. I was like, bring back Raphael. And then, but I kept watching. I actually dropped it after 1 more episode because I was like, oh my god, no way, he's not coming back. But like, I kept watching after like a month's break, and I could binge it for a bit because the episodes were coming out once a week, and I was like, all right, let me wait till it all comes out and then I'll watch it. So I binged it after it came out, and so after the whole thing came out, it left me feeling so touched at humanity. Not to be dramatic, but like, I was just like, all that to pass down an idea. I was so, I don't know, I think the way I can describe it was touched. And the way the characters were so disposable throughout the whole thing, it carries that idea with it, that the idea transcends the person or the discovery. And yeah, I was just really touched with humanity, because it's like, how much do they care about it to give up their own life for it? And I don't know, I also really liked the touch that Raphael came back at the end. Cutie. I don't get the ending. I'm not sure if I'm vibing with the ending on a physical level, because it doesn't make sense. But on a spiritual level and on an analytical level, I was like, okay. And I was so confused, and I was talking to my partner about it, and he was like, oh yes, it's like the idea that even though Raphael died, his mind, the idea of heliocentrism lives on. And I was like, okay, all right, I see what you did there. But yeah, I'm okay. I just like, I'm not complaining. I like how Raphael's back. Yeah, sorry, I went on a great big tangent. But yeah, that's a story that interested me recently. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending in your questions. I tried answering all of them. There were some questions I didn't answer because they were really specific to industry work, and I don't have anything to say with that. Like, I don't know if I should input on industry art stuff, because I'm not part of the art industry at all. I didn't study art. I didn't work for any industry. I'm very like freelance, entrepreneur, art type beat. Yeah, so I didn't answer those questions. Sorry guys, but I don't have anything to add on that topic. I really enjoyed answering everyone's questions though, and if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Let me know if I should make another one, because I asked you guys these questions back 5 months ago. I'm sorry I only got to it now, but yeah, maybe we'll do a part 2. What do you think? Otherwise, stay tuned for more behind the scenes on my webcomic, my working with Japanese publishers, and also shop updates and like convention work, just like everything that I'm up to lately, as well as specific videos that answer your questions as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Love you. Bye.
I've been away for a while. No one can change time.